The Florida Department of Corrections has a plan in place to implement tasers in 35 of the major institutions here in Florida, 70% of the prisons. Good idea or bad idea? I'm getting a ton of mixed emotions on this, not only from correctional officers who work in the prisons, but people on the outside. Now, this is a move by the Florida Department of Corrections to help keep everyone safe in the prisons. They will be used only to quell a disturbance. They will be used in general population, inmate transports to and from court, to and from the hospital, high-risk inmates at times when they have to escort them from one place to the other. This is a system that, believe it or not, is used by 27 other states already in our country. Different types, different forms, each state having their own use of force policy and what they want done and what should not be done. And that's the big key right there, how the use of force policy reads. A lot of people, I think, that see this go, oh my God, every correctional officer out there is going to be carrying a taser. Wrong. Only a certain amount of people will have the taser. That is yet to be seen who. Certain supervisors will have it. Maybe some teams will be issued the taser during a disturbance on the compound, things of this nature. But here's another thing, folks. I don't think a lot of people are getting all the information. The taser will have a body-worn camera, and it will be activated the moment the taser is removed from the holster. Taking the taser out of the holster automatically implements the camera, and the whole incident will be filmed, and that is what the use of force policy will require. That the body-worn cameras are worn in conjunction with the taser, and the taser removed from the holster at any time will activate the camera. And I've had a lot of people that aren't in corrections say, I would love to see officers wearing a body-worn camera. Well, now you have a new non-lethal weapon to keep everyone safe within the prison with a body-worn camera. But that is still going to bring argument. Even those people, I believe, that said, I want officers to wear a body-worn camera in the prison, they're going to say, well, I didn't mean with a taser. I didn't mean they should have a body-worn camera. I want them to wear a body-worn camera without a taser, at all times. Well, sometimes you can't have your cake and eat it too. Remember, trying to protect everyone in the prison takes teamwork. And if we have a taser that can do that and have a body-worn camera at the same time, we may be onto something. Now, let's see what happened with the testing. Columbia Correctional Institution, Main Unit, Florida, houses about 1,400 men. And they found that the reactionary use of force, unplanned force in response to prisoners decreased by 55%, while allegations from inmates of improper force dropped by 57%. And inmate assaults on staff dropped 61%, according to a Florida spokesperson. Now listen, for those of you advocates out there that are against these tasers, did you hear what I just said? Allegations from inmates of improper force used on the inmate dropped by 57%. Isn't that a good thing? I don't think that's a bad thing. And inmates' assaults on staff dropped 61%. Do we have a winner-winner on both sides? Staff are being assaulted less in this test run. And inmates are reporting fewer allegations of improper force by 57%. Okay? I don't know how we can be losers in that case. Now, of course, when this does go into plan, there'll be 35 major institutions that will now have the tasers with an activated body-worn camera when it is removed from the holster. So we will be getting statistics in the future. Now, they say that this taser implementation program has some tweaking to take care of, and it could be months before it actually happens. But here's the thing. Progress is being made. They've actually tested them. And you see the results from the test. And reducing violence within our correctional institutions is the goal. Is that not? Correctional officers, families of inmates, prison activists who want prison reform. Could this be a good answer? Well, there's still a lot of people saying no. You know, I don't know if there's anything really that can be done that's going to make everybody happy. It's not. You do this, people get mad. You do that, people get mad. You try to do the right thing, people get mad. Now, I understand that there's going to have to be some very good training with this. We do not want officers horseplaying with the tasers. We do not want officers using the taser as a threat. That's why the body-worn camera is there. That's why it activates the minute it comes out of the holster. That should stop a lot of this nonsense. And if an officer is just that plain ignorant to do something bad with that taser, to horseplay with that taser, then let's deal with that officer and not put all the other officers into that basket, because one bad apple weeded out does not spoil the rest of the good, hard-working officers, you know? It's just amazing how people can take one incident and group everybody into that incident and say they're all doing that. That's not true. That's not true in any profession, in any job we do. So, you probably want to know my opinion. I like the test results from Columbia Correctional Institution. The Secretary of Corrections made an announcement reducing violence within our correctional institutions and creating a safer environment to foster rehabilitation is key in achieving our mission. Secretary of Corrections Mark Inch. Liked by some, not liked by some. I mean, come on. In today's world, half the people like this president and half don't. There's no governor, no president that you're not going to please everybody. Just like with implementing this taser program, you know, you're not going to please everyone. Prison activists are saying we should be entitled to see all results and everything that is going to take place with this taser implementation. Okay, it's public record. We implement it. We make a use of force policy. We have policies and procedures on how to use it. Look at it all you want. It's free for you to see, free for you to look at. Now, the one thing I will say, if anybody misuses the taser, uses it as an intimidation factor, a horseplay, game toy, a leverage to gain profits of things that you're not entitled to, then I say that the officer that does that needs to have swift action taken against them. A full investigation first, please. Full investigation first before we decide if we're going to prosecute. Not terminate within hours and prosecute by media. Do a full investigation first. Place the officer on administrative leave or place them on no inmate contact. And once you have the full investigation in your hand, then decide what to do. lately we're putting the cart before the horse, and we're prosecuting officers before we even do an investigation. So please, if we implement this Taser program like it looks like we will, let's do the full investigation first and set the officer to the side on administrative leave or no inmate contact, and let them answer phones until we get the investigation done, or clean weapons in the arms room so we have nice clean weapons to use if we need them. That is something I just want to talk to you about. Now, some officers that I've seen on the response of this is, just give me a pay raise. I'd rather have that than the Taser. Some officers are afraid that they will be misused. They've already stated that. That's a little scary if some of our own officers are saying that the Taser could be misused, but that's where we come into play with only issuing the Taser to certain staff members as deemed responsible, hardworking, knowledgeable correctional officers. Those are the ones that should have the Tasers in their hand. Now, I wish we should have everyone knowledgeable, hardworking correctional officers, okay? We should. But let's face reality. Let's face the truth. We have some officers that maybe should not have the Taser, okay? So let's choose wisely how we use this and do it. But if we implement this into 35 major institutions and we get the results that Columbia Correctional Institution got, I think it's a good thing. We want lower percentages on assaults on staff. We want lower percentages on excessive use of force.